Okay, hello, party people. I don't know how this is going to work or look. Oh my goodness, the quality does not look good. Ah! Okay, welcome. I'm Kaylee Bliss. And welcome to the new moon in Taurus. I'm Kaylee. Welcome to the new moon in Taurus. I'm trying this whole live stream thing, so forgive me for the technical errors. This is my first public debut to live videos. So congrats, you're viewing it, you're seeing it. I'm starting somewhere. All right. I've had a lot of questions and people have been asking about what's going on with the energy. And since we know everything is energy, here I am to tell you about what's going on. I'm personally a big follower of yoga, and I also have studied astrology, numerology, and various philosophies. So I'm going to use all of that to let you know what I'm experiencing, what I feel the collective is experiencing, and perhaps shed some awareness on some shadows and some other things and themes that are going on. So take it all as you will. I have no attachment. And please leave your comments. Let me know where you're coming from. Say hello, ask me questions. And if I can see it, I'll try to respond. If not, I'll respond another time. Thank you for joining. Okay. So the Taurus new moon is tomorrow. And oh my God, it's impactful because we just got out of eclipse season. And if you don't know astrology or are not really familiar with energy, eclipses are huge, massive, powerful time periods. It's also during the spring season. So it's kind of like this final shedding that's really ushering in the new season of summer. Eclipse season usually happens in May, and there's usually a couple, and the 2 to 4 week period is usually more energetically intense. And it's because there are deep themes and patterns that we're all experiencing, individual to our own karmic evolution and more. And we're needing to become aware of new things, close old cycles, and then start new cycles. So, what I'm saying is, eclipse season is a very potent and powerful time, especially for our own soul's evolution, and to be able to understand what needs to be released and let go of and transformed so that new energy can come in this year, next year, and in the future. And what energy is no longer ours to carry, or things we need to hold on to, or people, and to release, to allow more flow in life. And that's what I love astrology, because it tunes me into more flow, more connection, and really helps show me that the universe is working for me and is also gifting me the opportunity to see what I can change in myself and what lessons I'm trying to learn and overcome. Did anyone feel the energy of the eclipses? I personally went through a whole soul transformation and death in the metaphysical way, because we're more than a body. We're physical, we're mental, we're emotional, we're spiritual, and we're human beings here on Earth, living in this body, trying to figure it all out. So, anyways, back to Taurus. The Taurus new moon is tomorrow, the 19th, on Friday, and the archetype of Taurus, it is the bull in astrology. So the big thing to know is that we have to learn to get out of our head and being too headstrong and really learn to soften into our heart. And that's like a huge collective theme. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel and check out my other astrological archetype videos if you're interested to learn more about those energies as well and what Taurus is all about. So right now the big theme is in Taurus, and it's a new moon. So, and again, after eclipse cycle. So we're starting this whole new chapter, and hopefully you've understood what has happened in the last 2 weeks. A lot of people, including myself, has felt lots of weird, dark energy in the last week. And it's really been a shedding and kind of like a universe throwing one last like hurrah, like, oh, are you going to shift this? Are you going to see this? Are you going to change? Or are you going to let it continue in your life? And it's individual to our own charts how the things play out, but knowing yourself and your chart and your energy can really help you understand the energy around you. And then knowing what cycles you're in and your life lesson and your soul purpose and different aspects of that can really help tune you in to make more clear and concise decisions. And more importantly, my favorite thing is to teach you how to overcome the karmic patterns, whether it's mental chaos or emotional chaos or both, or unconscious chaos that's keeping us suffering, unwell, and well, maybe even lonely and unsure. Who knows? Okay, so back to Taurus. Taurus is the bull. So the big theme right now is to get out of the head and into the heart. And, the golden keys, the golden nuggets that even yoga teaches, the way we do that is through the emotional body. the heart is connected to the emotions, and the heart rules emotions. So when we stuff, we suppress, we hold, we're actually blocking and guarding our heart. And we all have different lives and childhoods, but everything starts from the beginning and it builds upon the next. So depending on how we were raised and our environment, we learn different coping mechanisms, for better and for worse, of course, right? So it's a very potent time to look at yourself and identify where you're staying mentally in too much control, where you're being too reactive, and where the ego is clinging and grasping to things that really are trying to disable themselves so that you can live more pure hearted, more open hearted, more soft, loving, and kind. Taurus, like I said, is the bull. And so it's easy, especially for men, no offense, to get stuck in the mind the way they think things need to be, whatever's going on in the mind, and to not be able to let go and detach. And depending again on our conditioning, we all want things to be a certain way. So the eclipses come in to help shatter that reality and release. And this last eclipse cycle was even bigger because it was ending like a two-year period, and then other cycle periods and more. So it's like a big shh, this is gone, this is done. Are you going to move forward and change your life? Do you want to? Now is the time. And this new cycle is an opportunity to accept that, release that, and let it go. So new moons, you typically write intentions, and full moons you usually burn, but I do recommend burning whatever needs to be released during this eclipse ending and new moon cycle beginning, because then you can just clear the slate. And whether it's your own emotions, your own things, or maybe it's people or patterns or whatever, just write it down and burn it. All right, that's my advice. So back to Taurus. The big themes are in Taurus. And when I'm talking about other energetic alignments too, whether I'm actually vocalizing it or not. It's a huge play in our strong-headed masculine energy. And we all have a masculine and a feminine. And the yoga teaches us to unify so that we can live as our true self. And that's so beautiful because Taurus is ruled by beauty and Venus. And Taurus is all about balance, abundance, beauty, and harmony. And we create all of that as humans, not by being in the head, but in being in the heart. And that's also what yoga teaches. And so it's really, 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 really powerful if we can, learn to understand ourselves and to consider and become more conscious and aware of our energy and how we're showing up for ourselves, for others, and in relationship. And then add that other level of what are we trying to create in relationship? What do we want for ourselves in life? And what do we value? And what do we like and enjoy and hold beauty around? And how can we then work towards creating that in some kind of energetic form? Thing about Taurus is it also rules values. And so during this new moon, it's a huge reality check to check in with who you are and what you value and whether you're lining up with it. See, humans are funny. We like to say one thing and then we do another, or we like to say one thing and never do it and just let it go. And the true gift of life is to find the alignment, to be able to say what you mean what you say, and to take the action. And when you're integral and congruent, you're beginning to embody a more holistic, whole individual and learning to live in your sovereign self and your center. And that's out of an animalistic mindset of reaction, conditioning, mental games, and it's living more balanced within. So it's super powerful. So this Taurus new moon cycle is, again, having you check in with your values. Are you aligned with them? Do you live by your different, what matters to you? Do you allow your people in your life to be aligned too? Or do you, maybe give too much or, allow people into your life that are not aligned at all with what you actually value and want? I mean, it's really something simple, but it's something to really check in with, because it's amazing how scared and fearful we get and how many people we hold, how much, things in our mind we hold on to, like in past things and future things and concepts. I mean, the mind is just a whole nother human confusion ball when you start to look at it. It's fascinating. I love it. That's why I love astrology, because it connects to our psyche and our soul and our mind and all the beliefs and the things going on. It's fascinating. Okay, back to Taurus. I get sidetracked. I apologize. Okay, so the balance. The balance is the key word in all astrology and all of yoga. And how do we find balance? Well, I'm going to tell you. First, it begins by being in the body. Taurus is an earth element. Every sign has a different element, and the elements connect and work together to create harmony in life, in ourself, and in the world. So, earth. What is earth? It's grounding. It's being in the physical body. It's taking care of the physical body. And we do that so that we can get deeper with what's inside of our physical self. And that's our soulful self, right? So, this time period, I highly recommend taking extra good care of your physical self, feeding yourself well, hydrating more, and just checking in on what's going on. Like I said earlier, so many people have asked me what's going on in the last week. People weren't sleeping, they were nauseous, they were puking, fevers, overheating, myself included. And, everyone thinks that they're sick or something, but it's really just energy moving through us and trying to break up and clear so that we can be transformed from the inside out. And so we have to listen and we have to relax and we have to set ourselves up for success and listen to what the body's saying. And be okay if, we're maybe a little less hungry, a little more thirsty, or sleeping a little less, have more energy here. Okay, great. Don't get reactive and fearful. Just be with it and flow with it. Because, like everything, energy shifts all the time. It's always in motion, always changing. And as humans, we can learn to move with it, or we can hit up against it, or, stay in whatever state we're in and suffer, or not, or just be there. I don't know. I'm a fan of change. Life has taught me that. So this time is about balance of the head and the heart. We like to attach to this things, what we want, what we think we need in life. But the heart, usually when we get into it, it'll really show us the better way. And that could also be the harder way of learning to let go and release and more. And another thing about Taurus, which is also being highlighted during these next 2 weeks and beyond, but especially right now in the next 2 weeks, because it's a moon in Taurus, is the throat. Taurus rules the throat. And my personal opinion is one of the hardest things in life as a human is to learn to be fully expressed and in a sovereign, balanced way, right? Because think about it. How many of us are actually raised being able to do that? No. Whether we're in school or whatever, parents, usually people always have these control dynamics of what's going on. So during this time, it's important to get present with your emotions, present in yourself, and really check in on where you're holding, what energy are you holding, and how is that coming out? Usually when we're suppressed, we're come out as anger, and then the deeper layers of it could be shame, guilt, sadness, and that's causing reactions and patterns of how we live our lives. So the balance is to check in, see where you're holding, where you're not speaking your truth, where you're not speaking up for yourself, where you're allowing others to speak for you. And, how can you shift that around? And, more importantly, when it comes to relationships, is there stuff you need to say? Is there stuff you need to clear the air? I don't know. It's individual for everyone, but Taurus rules the throat. And it's a very important time to check in with yourself because the throat is connected to our emotions, to our gut as well. So your body will tell you when you start to tune in with it. And for those, whether you practice yoga or not, I highly recommend getting grounded in your body every morning. Just sitting down, feeling your feet, closing your eyes, and just breathing in your body. I mean, you'll be amazed at what happens. And breathing can improve digestion. It can create mental clarity. So many things. And just doing it first thing in the morning for a minute is not a big deal, but it can really help you tune into yourself as you start to develop whatever practice you want to develop. So the invitation is to be very kind to yourself and your body and to listen. And like I said, Taurus is like the sign of beauty and value. I mean, to me, it's like the empress. It's like the person who knows their values, beautiful, gorgeous, people like her. She's creative. She's tuned into herself and, she likes pleasure and joy. Who doesn't? So check in. Maybe this time, this time period, you need to go get yourself a massage and treat yourself because you value and love yourself so damn much, right? And another side note is we're shifting out of Scorpio season and, or Scorpio moon rather, and Scorpio nodes. But Scorpio is the depth of the depth, and also the shit. It's our deep shadow. It's where you play with the different light and the dark, and how that plays out is individual to you. However, the universe is asking us to shed that shit and to move into a higher consciousness with more balance, more beauty, and more bliss. So the invitation is to check in with your emotions and what they're doing. Are they causing you to eat more? Are they causing you to be sad? Are they causing you to be reactive? Are they causing you to go out and escape? There's so many elements. And like I said, the human emotions rule us humans, and most of us are completely unaware of it. More than taming the mind, we got to check in with the body. And so the true yoga for the union right now is to find that sweet balance of mental and emotional peace. And that's always technically like the case, I guess, but for Taurus is extra highlighted. And so the invitation is to check in with the relationship you have with you and then also with others, and to just consider what needs to shift and change and what now. What are you guys thinking? How's this going for those who are listening? Making sense? And I also look at the energy of the day, and I use numerology and other yogic sciences. And it's the big theme is discernment right now, like what's actually serving you and what's not. And to be powerful in yourself, to say yes to what matters and no to what doesn't. And then to have those rough conversations and to resolve whatever tension may be in your life that's causing blocks, mental, emotional, spiritual, or around the heart, and to open yourself up to live more unified, right? Well, that's most of what I have. I'm going to leave you with a tarot card because tarot helps connect with the archetype of the astrology. So I'm going to pick one and share what's next. If there are any questions, please share them. I'm happy to answer, or in another video. Look at this, King of Cups. Some things don't lie. So this card rules the emotions, love, balance, and family. Like I said, it's important to check in with your emotions, to become the king and queen of yourself, your body, your soul, and to develop your patterns so that you can live more soul aligned, more heart aligned. And right now is the time to shed the old, release those personalities, those personas, whatever it is, the darkness, the depth, and step into the light. And only you know how to do that. And if you need help, there are plenty of resources. And if you have questions, like everything is possible, and you just got to believe that, and you got to have the discernment to know the real you, the true you, and to go forward into the future self you want to create. Okay, well, I hope this was insightful for you, a little new moon energy. And if you'd like an astrology soul chart where I use my different skills and knowledges to put together a chart to describe you and your soul story and your personal seasons and cycles so you can understand what's going on energetically way, way, way better, you might be fascinated. Let me know, DM me, chat me, check out my website, Kaylee-Bliss, and please subscribe to my channel as I will be streaming more on YouTube. And let me know how this goes. Give me a like or comments or questions, or if it was just comedy, that's cool too. I have no judgment. I'm just here to share. All right. So may we all live more in our heart, less in our head, and may we be kind to our physical self, our human self, and to other selves, right? And may we connect with deeper values to be more freedom, full, beautiful, and loving people. And that is the wish today. So once again, I'm Kaylee. Cheers and namaste. How do I shut this off? Thanks for tuning in.